Hey, it's Nancy Sheet of Sheet Communications, and I'm here kind of with a weekly wrap of things I'm learning and seeing. And in particular today, I want to talk about paid social media or advertising in social media. Been working on a couple of projects and had the opportunity to talk to several experts or people who literally spend the bulk of their time doing Facebook, Instagram ads, or doing paid social. And a couple of things were coming through that I wanted to share with you that I'm learning. And I think it's just that 10-headed monster, that deep, dark, black void for a lot of us when we think about advertising and social media. So in particular, four things I want to cover. And I'll start with the most important one, and that is being really clear about what you want your social media ads to do. So I think there's a misconception that you can spend, $5 a day and get all sorts of sales, and those days are long, or even if they were happening. But particularly for writers and authors and thought leaders, the clients that I deal with, they aren't necessarily selling services or products. Yes, they sell books, but you need to be clear about what you want your social media ads to do for you. And a lot of times it's just starting to become, building the brand awareness story to get people to a course of know, liking, and trusting you, and then wanting more of your great content to ultimately get to that sale of your book, or potentially, hopefully, becoming one of your fans and hiring you to speak. But I think being extremely clear, as opposed to just saying we're running ads, is really important in understanding what you want that paid social media to do. The second sort of really important thing I think to understand about paid social media or social media advertising is, if you're clear about what you want it to do, it still goes back to content, and using your amazing content as part of your ad campaign strategy. What does that mean? It means that your ads probably shouldn't be saying, buy this, do this, it should be a much more of a understanding of your target audience and offering them amazing content that gets them to dive into that content and want more of what you are doing. It's much more complicated than this. It involves having a strategy and a campaign, and ultimately probably creating a campaign and several touch points. But again, just I think for some people it's, I'm going to spend, $2,000 on a Facebook ad campaign, and we're just going to run ads. And it's really, really, really much more complicated than that. And so, which actually gets to my third point, and that is, I highly recommend hiring actually an expert who does this on a regular basis. Just posting content on social media versus running paid campaigns on social media are two very different experiences. It's almost a science. It truly is a science and an expertise to understand how to create paid audiences and welcome to live and test markets and know what sort of content will work well, how to tweak audiences, and similar things of that. So when I'm working with my clients, for the most part, I typically bring in somebody, or we work with somebody who does understand doing paid or social media advertising. It just truly is an expertise, and you need to expect to pay that person. Sometimes you may be paying that person as much as you are running your ad budget. It's worth that expertise because you will save a lot of time and frustration if that person really understands you and your audience and how to make your content work for an advertising campaign. The fourth thing I do want to point out, that's actually very specific to what's going on now, is because of sort of a bit of a pullback in advertising and marketing in these quote unquote, uncertain times, there's actually an opportunity, because it appears that sort of rates and click-through rates and advertising is a little more how should we say, is less expensive, or there's more bang for your buck right now. So if you were interested in getting into running social ads, now might actually be a very good time if you understand what you're trying to do with your ads, if you've got great content to use in your ads and have a clear strategy. And hopefully, maybe you've probably even considered, hiring an expert. So my hope is I'll find some people to bring back on soon and interview them, and we can get into some of the nitty gritty. But I just wanted to share with you some sort of arching thoughts about approaching paid social media or ads in social media, if you were considering it or had been frustrated by it, or sort of were thinking about taking the next step. That's it for now. We'll be back with more things as I'm learning them and sharing them that hopefully will help you get your content and message out into the world. Thanks. Bye.